Dave, I'm in the comic room. Today is Wednesday. It's new comic book day. I have not been near a comic book shop today. It was a fun day for Silver. I went running, did a little bit of work, hung out with the kids a little bit, and now I'm waiting. I have to pick my daughter up from school in about an hour and a half. She has a an event, and I thought, what better thing to do than hang on. I got my sound on. What better thing to do than hang out in the comic room a little bit? And who knows, maybe there'll be someone in here. Hard to say. Hey, we got Matt in here. Perfect timing. Hello, my friend. I've got all kinds of goodies, and I'm going to cover probably a lot of ground from modern all the way back into the Silver Age here. I've got this unboxing to do, which is just a wish and a prayer at this point. I'll show you some close-ups on this and we'll see exactly what's going on there. And I've got some milk and cheese, which people who've followed the channel for a long time know I just love milk and cheese. So I've got a bunch of milk and cheese stuff to talk about. I've got some, whoops, hang on. I got to silence my notifications. I've got all kinds of stuff I've been buying. And I've got some other stuff back here. So, and I got some stuff up here on the wall to show you guys. So we'll find a way to kind of spend a little time together. See my bad eyesight. C3 Comics. How you doing, my friend? So without wasting too much time, I thought what I'd do, I found a seller on eBay that I really like, and I thought I would show you this stuff first because it's really cool. I was chatting a little bit with Daz from overseas across the pond, and he was mentioning in one of his videos how it's really tough to hunt comics and find bargains. And my comment to him was, well, you're either looking for the wrong stuff or you're doing it wrong, because there's all kinds of deals out there. It's really amazing right now. As a lot of you know, hey, Kevin R's in here. Nice to see you, Kevin. As a lot of you know, I'm a fan of the hobby, and I don't care if it's a new book, I don't care if it's an old book, whatever it is, I'm a fan. And it's such a vast and the landscape we have is so wide that if everybody's running in one direction, which, let's face it, the last couple of years everybody wants the big key books. Well, if everyone's running that direction, what it leads to is it leads to a void or a vacuum over here. And so what I've been doing is trying to spend a little more time over here and focusing on other things that aren't necessarily the big keys, but still remain cool. So here is what I found. Is this seller on eBay had this, which was of great interest to me. This is an original poster from the 80s. We have the Submariner poster. Some of you in my age bracket remember seeing this on the wall of the comic book stores. The 4-issue limited series available this summer from Marvel. That was kind of, I call it my heyday. That's when I was out independent and independent, that I was riding my bike, but I was spending my own money on comic books, buying what I wanted. And I remember these things on the rack and buying them in multiple. And so I have a couple of these posters now, but anytime I can get one cheap, I try to buy them. The only problem with this one is it originally came this way, okay, and someone a long time ago folded this one in half. But that's okay, I still love it. This one I'm actually going to frame, and I'm going to have it up on the wall, and it's going to look great. I have a mint condition one that that is only folded the one time, and it's beautiful. And that one stays in the box for, what am I saving it for? I don't even know. But anyway, so the seller had this. But one of my tricks with hunting is, and I did this just today, and we'll talk about a little hunting trick I use. But one of the things I do, if I find one thing I like and there's a make offer, what I do is I immediately throw a real low offer on it. But then I go right into the store and I find out if they got one thing I like, maybe they have other things. Found it in the dollar bin. Wow, Matt, that's great. Hey, Grill Todd's in here. My day's going beautifully, my friend. So I go into the store when I find an eBay seller with something I like, and this isn't like, it doesn't really work with mycomicshop.com or any of the big time people, but it works with small timers like, possibly you and Old Silver. So I went in the store and they had this poster which I really liked, West Coast Avengers. We remember when that came out. That's 1984, and it's a cool poster. And I thought, well, certainly if they'll work with me on that, they'll work with me on this. And sure enough, they worked with me. So I picked up those. And then they had a third poster. Oh, time to go, Matt. Go enjoy your dinner, my man. Gold School loves the hunt. CFAP #1. Hello. Thank you for joining us. So they had a third poster that I really liked. And these aren't, items for retirement, but I thought they're pretty cool. This is the Apocalypse poster for Daredevil, The Ultimate Downfall of Matt Murdock by Frank Miller and David, I'm going to call him Mazzucchelli. I don't know. Beginning in Daredevil number 227. This is from 1990 or 1985, and I thought it was a cool poster. So eBay seller had a bunch of cool stuff, so I made offers. But then it went deeper. That they had some Garbage Pail Kids cards, which is a little after my time, but my sister loves them. So I reached out to her and I said, Kim, you got to check this out. So she went into the store, and while I'm working with the lady on these posters, my sister's working with her on these Garbage Pail Kid cards and buying them. The lady was very easy to work with. And then while I'm in the store, I found two other items that I really, really liked, and I bought them. The first one is this Supergirl #1. Okay, and what this is famous for, first of all, I have a daughter who loves Supergirl, so I bought it for her. But it's a cool issue. It actually has a 16-page free preview of Masters of the Universe #1. And I thought that was really cool. The comic's in mint condition with a press. Maybe it would be a 9/8. And I thought, man, that's cool. Plus, it's a newsstand, which is cool. I need new tape on my no creepers thing. Where's Vin C when I need him? He would be protecting me from all this mayhem going on right here. All right, so we'll put that back on. So anyway, it's got a cool 16-page preview, and it's in great shape. So she worked with me really, really nice on there. So I like that. And it's cool. Great Frogger ad. We all, in this age bracket, we all remember playing hours of Frogger, trying to get across the road and the pond and all that stuff, the river. So she had that one. And then I dug extra deep. And she had this comic, which she said the comics were her husband's. And these are old-time polybags, way overdue for rebagging and reboarding. But she had this Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #1. And it is in, I'd say that's 9/8able condition. The corners are real tight on it. There's some glare, but corners look great. I hadn't taken it out of the bag till now, but the back looks good. Maybe a little press. There's a non-color breaking little thing right there. And I am going to try to find the thing I'm looking for in here. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But this is the Blue Galactus error copy, where they had some color plates mixed up, and I'm not going to waste a lot of time looking for it. But anyway, it's the Blue Galactus variant, and so I thought that was cool. She worked with me. She did a great job. I got this stuff super fast. The boxing was fantastic, and then there was a nice letter in there thanking me and saying, hey, please leave me positive feedback. So her eBay name, hang on one second here, and I'll see if I can find it, because I want to shout her out a little bit. You can find her using recent solds on any of that stuff. But let's see, purchases. I'm going to look along here and find her store and shout her out because I give her an A plus. She just did a great job. And let's see here. Uh, her store name is Deb3411. And so if you do buy something from Deb, tell her Silver sent you, and she won't even know what that is because I'm just Dave, I think. I don't know. But anyway, really, really happy with that. So I consider those to be treasures and steals and deals. So very happy. So moving on. Oh, it looks like Gorilla Todd says Gorilla Todd was one of the winners of my 100, 200 subscriber contest, which is way back in, well, probably 3 years ago now. But that's perfect. Carrie Keith says Supergirl #1, 1982, second run, 1982, I think. Yeah, it's not, and it's actually the Daring Adventures of Supergirl, but it falls under Supergirl in alphabetically. And yeah, it's not the first one, it's the second one. But the Marvel preview for Masters of the Universe is what I thought was cool about that. So then, this was kind of a good pickup I bought. I was watching one of the auctions, and HGM Law offered these up. I think it was Strictly Comics, and there weren't a lot of people in there. And he put these up for like nothing. I think I got these for like $12 or $15. It's DC Comics Presents #1 and 2. Condition looks beautiful. Harold was a joy to work with, and really these were undersold. If I was Harold, I would have reached out and said, "Hey, Silver Age Dave, can I renege on that deal?" But he did not do that. He's a man of his word, and he sent these beautifully packaged. So I'm a big fan of Harold and the auctions and Strictly Comics. And you just can't beat it. And Justin was on there, I think, Exile State, and they're just a whole crew of great guys on that auction. So that was a super win for me. I love these. I will never pass on them when these things come available for super cheap. I don't care if I have 10 of them. I'm going to take it to 11, just like Spinal Tap. So that was another good find. Do you guys want to see this unboxing? Because I can do that. We've got 13 people in here, which is a nice amount of people. It's cozy, so everyone move forward a little bit. It's like when you go to church and everyone's in the 15th row and the front 15 rows are empty. The priest sometimes is a good, funny priest. They say, "Come on, everyone move up." You know, in the winter, sometimes everyone sits back. I guess during COVID you don't do that as much, but that's how it used to be anyway. Hey, Linkovich, nice to see ya. So let's look at this one, okay? Which I am just praying that what's in here is in good shape. So first of all, there's bubble wrap and there's cardboard. So I'm not going to overreact necessarily, but I've got a big, like a puncture here in the front. And what we'll notice upon inspection is this dude did not want to spend money for a bigger mailer. So to put this cardboard in, what they had to do was actually cut a mailer open and then tape it, which absolutely insane. I spent a fair amount of money on this package, but as you can see, it's taped all the way around, okay? And you'd think, oh, he put tape all along the edge, but that actually would be incorrect because you could snake a finger right in there if you wanted to. So we're just going to pray. And like here, it's ripped up at the top. That could be the post office. And so what we're going to do, he did put a rubber band over here because nothing protects anything like a rubber band. As soon as you have that, can't be damaged. But again, I'm being a little silly. They know better than that, says Pope Grimy. So nice to see you, Pope Grimy. I remember Pope Grimy starting the channel. I've always been a fan. Nice to see you in here. I got Area 51. There's Canadians in the chat. Everybody, Area 51. Nice to see you, sir. Retired, living the dream, flying planes and RC cars and probably mountain biking and shooting air rifles. He's got more channels than anybody in the comic community. Love seeing you in here. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody. But we're going to unbox this together. So First step in unboxing this, I'm going to get out my little razor knife, okay? This is not the giant Rambo thing that a lot of people have, but it satisfies what I need it to do, which right here is just basically cutting a small amount of tape. This particular seller, I am hoping to be a big fan of the packaging once I get inside here. As you can imagine, this is an oversized item, and so this is, for me, a lot of you know I am a guy, I'm all about multiples, and I'll give a hint. The item that's in here, I have a complete set of originals bought from a famous, I'll say, Marvel bullpen guy. And so this is a second set that looked on eBay to be in perfect condition. I was looking for a set of these that I can actually display and not be afraid of. But the original set I have in here, so this would be multiples for Silver Age Dave. And ships it like this. Yeah, absolutely. He wrote "Do not bend" down there on the bottom. So I think that solves it all, right? That fixes everything. I'm going to actually give it a little slice on the bottom so I can peel this like a banana. I don't want to... And now again, I'm being critical at this point because I'm seeing what you guys are seeing, and I am not completely convinced that this is going to be perfect. But we'll see what happens here. Let me put this up. And this is a really cool thing. I was looking for a second perfect set of these. I'm going to call them these. And it proved to be elusive. I'm hoping... Now the cardboard is also a little disappointing. Okay, we're going to peel that back. This is a long unboxing, but hopefully uneventful, like the title says. So, okay, so there's our bubble mailer, which I will probably not be reusing, but I have it. And this came from Brian. I'll show his first name. Okay, so Brian, I'm hoping to give you some positive feedback, my man, but so far this is tricky. Okay, so now what we have, our second level of defense, we've got another bubble mailer. Yeah, you got to do some things live and have proof. And you couldn't, there's no way to fake this one. He does have a mile of tape on there. Okay, so this is another level of bubble mailer, but again, it doesn't even go all the way around the cardboard. It really is hopefully protecting just the cardboard from impact. So, okay. So now, it's a scary package. You are right, C3. So now we're going to peel that one back, and I'm just going to fold it under. Okay. Let me make sure I've got all my comics off the table here, because we're going to look through these at some point if we have time. And I don't even know what's in here, but we'll look through this too. What is this? Oh, okay. We'll look through that too. Let's see. Now we're going to go. I don't even really know where. I got my glasses on too. So the thing I like about this type of knife is I can make it so the blade is just barely sticking up through there. Yeah, hey, you know, Area 51, I was recently talking about sometimes you order things and you just don't know. Because especially with the little mini books that I've been hunting on, you just don't know because the package is so light. All right. This is looking great so far. But so hopefully what's in here is supposed to be in here. So at this point, I'm going to give this an A+. We'll see if it goes downhill. But if you're with me, oh, this, by the way, is a cool thing. It's a little display. I paid $1 for it at Goodwill. I thought it was pretty cool. and I put my couple of milk and cheeses in there. But I'm going to move them back here to the second row, and we're going to open this. So we've got priority mailboxes here that are free from the post office. Okay, and here we go, gang. These are taped in. This was a long negotiation on this set. And if Metarog happens to tune in, he probably already knows what this is all about. A lot of you probably know what this is all about. But very, very exciting. And I actually I was talking to Bub's Comics, Andrew, the other day. And I was sharing with him that I had this purchase, and I was really excited. Okay, so the boxes are gone, and that leaves us with, okay. So now this does have the actual items are in here, and they're in a large poster display or art display bag. And I'm going to completely get rid of that because there is tape around. And what we would never want to do is we would never want to damage a cool item. If there's even a little bit of tape around, we want to get rid of everything that could be sticky. Okay, so we got that done. Guys, this is a good unboxing. I'm feeling really great about this. We got Comic Mag Musings in here, which is always a pleasure. Nice contributor to the community, nice gentleman. And these so far look perfect. And we're going to go through these together. But what we have, these are the Marvel Mania posters, okay? And I talked earlier, I have Jim Steranko's original set of these, and I have Jim Steranko's, one of his original Foom kits that was not mailed. Hang on a second, and I'll show that off. I take every opportunity I can to show this off because it's so special. Is this it? That's not it. I don't know where it is. I have the posters, but the actual envelope that the Foom was mailed in, I don't have that. But anyway, let's go through these together. This is so exciting. Hey, Mr. Garrell, nice to see you. Long time no see, my friend. So the first one we have here is Conan the Barbarian, which is beautiful. And this set looks great. There's, I would say there's a minor amount of fading maybe on this, but they look really, really terrific. So that's Conan the Barbarian. Cool poster to have. We have our second one in here, and this was a 12 poster set. This is Thor, number 127. Just beautiful. Great condition. I'm really, really pleased. The packaging on this, I'm going to say questionable at best, but it got here. Everything looks to be in great shape. We've got Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 6, which is beautiful. Okay, and a lot of people, we were talking about Steranko, a lot of people don't know that Jim Steranko is why Nick Fury looks so darn cool. Steranko did the makeover with the whole costume and kind of updated everything. This is one of the favorites for me in this set. This is the Hulk number 1 poster. And you can buy these individually. Depending on condition, you can pick them up pretty affordably. The mint set is what I'm always after. So, when I hunt them down, I stay pretty active looking for certain things. I run the trap lines all the time. And sometimes you end up, with a big haul when that happens. So we've got Fantastic Four number 82. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. We've got Grotto Orloff in here. Grotto does these really cool live streams. And the best way to describe them is if you love Captain Strangelove, and hopefully if you love, watching Silver Age Dave, you'll love Grotto Orloff. He's got multiple comic rooms. He's got a nice style. He plays some music, kind of goes all over the place, which I happen to love that type of format, which is an older format. That's kind of like the YouTube channels of old. And so nice to see you in here, Grotto. Always a pleasure. So then our next poster in here is Submariner number 1, which is just a great one. I happen to have that one on the wall. So we'll pull that one down here. Hang on, guys. I don't want to break anything. So there you go. Okay, so that's a beautiful one to have. Put that back up there. All right. Then we have, hopefully I'm not missing much in here, Comic Head 84. Nice to see you, Comic Head. It's poster time. Yes, the Marvel Mania posters. I don't know the year these came out. Maybe someone can find out for me. It was what had happened. The whole Foom thing. Stan Lee decided, hey, I want to have a fan mag, and I've done a little research on this. EC Comics used to have a fan thing, and a lot of places had fan things. Well, Stan Lee said, I want to do that, and then Stranko ended up kind of taking it over and running with it. And so I don't know whose idea it was to have posters, but it's really great that he did. So there's our Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos number 50. How cool is that? So I'm really, really happy to have these. These are probably going to get framed up just like Alan Garrett would do. He would frame them up. He's got a whole poster selection, all the coolest stuff. He's got the Third Eye Blacklight posters, and he's got all the craziest, coolest stuff. And I'm guessing he has these framed, but we'll see. But this is my second set. These are the framers for me. No thumbtack holes in them. I just love them. So here we go. Talk about a hot comic right now. We got Silver Surfer number 3. Just beautiful. Hey, maybe that's a spec for you guys. Hey, Ron Hensley's in here. Nice to see ya. Yeah, these were mail orders through Marvel Comics and, through the Marvel Mania. I don't know if these were advertised in the Foom magazines, but yeah, Mr. Garrell, isn't that the problem? Is we see the stuff. When I was talking to Bub's Comics Andrew the other day, I said, hey, if you talk to Metarog, tell him to stop making awesome videos. He did an Atlas Comics thing, and every time Metarog decides to go deep into something obscure, then all of a sudden I find myself, hypnotized walking over to eBay, right? Okay, so our next one in here, I don't know how many we've seen already, but this is Daredevil number 44. Okay, Murderer. Nice, nice, nice poster there. So I think I shared with you guys that I've expanded. I now have 3 comic rooms. So these are going to get framed up, and these are actually going to be on a wall. I have some cool posters that I've been framing up. This is a Batman and Dracula. I don't know if you guys can see that one. That's a Batman Dracula that I've got framed up. And so I'm going to have the walls, rather than having the comic racks up on the walls, I'm going to have some posters. And these are going to be just beautiful in there. Okay, so then we've got Captain America 111. Another Steranko cover there. Beautiful. Hey, we got Comic Fan in here. Nice to see you, Comic Fan. Jill Hensley, by the way, who's in here. Howdy, my friend. That's Ron Hensley, who's just a great, great member of the community. Retired Navy deep sea diver, like, the real risky stuff. And so always love seeing you in here, Ron. Thank you so much. And then the last poster in the set is this Amazing Spider-Man number 68, Crisis on the Campus. Okay, so a lot of activist stuff. we think that comic books, being political or having a message, whether it be drugs or alcohol, we've seen, those issues with, who's a Green Lantern, I forget the number, like 60 something. We know the Demon in a Bottle storyline for Tony Stark. And there's all kinds of things that we have to organize sometimes. And hey, Surf Blue, thanks for saying hi. Thanks for stopping in. Have fun at work. Where are you, Surf Blue? What part of the world are you in? Just so we know, it's I don't know what time it is here. It's after 5. I know that. So thank you guys so much. The questionable unboxing worked out great. If you didn't see not beginning, but the early part of this, the packaging on this was very sketchy, very suspect, and ended up working out great. These posters are beautiful, and I love them, and can't wait to frame them up. So that we're going to put these carefully on top of a bunch of boxes. I have Golden Age and poster boxes, and those tend to be a catch-all for posters, because then I know they stay flat. So do you guys want to see something else cool? As long as we're on a roll, I can show you some cool stuff, or I can show you a, not really a spec, because it's a recalled comic, but I ended up buying someone out. And so I got that. Hey, look at that. I got a little something to send your way for you and your girl. So send me your address. I will do that, Ron. That is very kind. Thank you so much. A100, greetings from Northern Indiana. A100, do me a favor, because I was just in Indiana. I was in Indianapolis, which isn't Northern Indiana. But I went to a comic book store, which maybe I'll show. I bought some comic books. You can imagine when Silver Age Dave traverses the country, the first thing I do is I locate where all the comic book stores are. So I think this store is called Comic Carnival or Comic Circus. I think it was Comic Carnival. And they're the oldest comic book store, I think, in Indiana. And that is really cool. But I have something near there that I wanted to buy, and a lady's trying to gouge me on shipping. So maybe we figure something out. And if anyone's from the Indianapolis area, maybe they can let me know. So I'm looking for my email address, and I don't see it, but that's okay. Hey, COPA warning, everybody. I don't even know if we do COPA warnings, but there's the COPA warning. Okay. Right there. Kiddos, come back later when you're not a kiddo. Yeah, I must have misplaced my email address, but it's Silver Aged Dave with 2 D's. Let me put those back at gmail.com. All right, so moving on. Keep the hits coming, says Comic Head. We got Thomas Gray in here. Let's see here. Yeah, the colors look a little off, and that's a good question. It's one of the things to worry about on these is the comics, the posters being scanned. The thing about these is the paper is, let me grab this set here. And as long as we're playing, we're going to take a peek, because these are very vintagey looking. They were that way from day one, and a set like this sat probably packaged forever. But we're going to look at this set, which I just received, because I want to make sure, and it makes sense to make sure that that they are what they are. And then I'm going to grab, this is Jim Steranko's personal set of the Foom posters, and I don't want to mix these up, but this is actually Jim Steranko owned this, and this is the set I just received. Okay, so as you can see, they are exactly identical, and so I'm going to carefully put Jim Steranko's set back. And you might ask, how did I get that? Is years and years of hunting and I paid a fortune for the original Foom kit. It had the first 3 issues, and there were no mailing labels on them because he just walked into Marvel. You know, he was in the bullpen all the time back then, so he just walked in and pulled them right off the wherever his mail was. So okay, so those are, they look a little faded, but that's how they were built. So very good day to be Silver Age Dave. I've got all my friends in here with me. I'm loving it. Surf Blue is in Georgia, Gainesville. Very good. Work at a military school part-time. All right, that's beautiful. Military school. Love it. So have a great day of work or night of work. Let's see. So we've got Comic Head says, keep the hits coming. Slim Comics is in here. Nice to see you, Slim Comics. Phil is in here. How you doing? And everything I don't have is a cool thing. Ain't that the truth, comic fan? That is anything Dave has for me. So beautiful. So let me talk. I've got one. So this is a book that most people don't know about. Okay, and you, as people know, I like the recalled comics and anything that's tricky like that. So I happen to find the original producer of these comic books, and they had 12 left that are signed, that are specific. Okay, and I was surprised. Bub's Comics said he had never heard of this before. This is a little risque for the Silver Age Dave channel, but I'm still going to do this as a unboxing. So what I ended up doing, I ended up buying a lot of copies of this. There's 12 copies, and these are all perfect. These never sold to the public. These were done in, I think, 1997. There was a version of this done, but it was unauthorized. Okay, so most people are probably unfamiliar with this, unless you're really following recalledcomics.com very closely. This was an unauthorized comic book that was put out, and it was called Hallie the Hooters Girl. And Hallie is actually a model who worked at the Clearwater, Florida. I think it was the first Hooters restaurant. And the model's name was Janine Vollmer. And so the original issue, they had a print run of 7,500. And hey, thank you, Carrie Keith. I appreciate it. Yeah, that has Bub written all over it. I agree. And Bub, I sent him a picture of it, and he'd never seen it before, but I'm sure he's probably got a couple. So anyway, so they did a print run of 7,500, but then they wanted to make it even better. So what do you do in the 90s when you want to make something better? Is you do a gold foil exclusive. So they did a print run of 2,000 of these, and then they had, this was called the San Antonio exclusive, right here, 1 of 2,000, January 1998, Cabbage Comics issue 1. And there was only one issue, and a good find, comic fan. So it was only the one issue they did, 2 versions of it, and then they were shut down because Hooters never authorized it. And so Cabbage Comics ended up, they got rid of most of them, but the original person who did the prints, they happen to have at that signing event, they happen to have 12 of these where we had 2 models. We had Mona wrote Bad is Good, Mona, and then Kickin' Butt for You with a little heart, Hallie, which is Janine Vollmer, and she's got 98 on there. Most of these that are signed only have Mona's name and Hallie's name. They don't have any inscription on it. People had to pay extra for that. Most people didn't pay extra. These do have the certificate, so I could send these probably through, CBCS, which I might do a few of them, and I'd get 9.8s. But I was working with the person who had these, and I said, hey, what if I just bought all you had? And so I ended up with 12 of them. And they still have a few more, but it's just the names. It doesn't have the inscription. So I was really happy about that. And these are going to go into, I'm going to rebag and board them, but these will go into the box and they'll just sit there. I'll probably get a couple graded just for nostalgia's sake. They fall into that recalled comics, low print run, rarity, all those things I generally look for. And so I was real happy to get those. All right, so that was quick. Now we're going to go and we're going to open up something really cool, but I'm going to show you a few different things. So these two comics I just recently purchased, and I've been a fan of Milk and Cheese for a long time. Okay, this is Milk and Cheese #1, which is hard to find. You can identify it by the slave labor graphics logo on the left, nothing through the center, #1, price tag of $2.50 on the right. This is a second printing. I don't know how many total printings there are. There might be 14 printings, but I have up to #7. So this says special white ink second printing, and each subsequent printing has something funny here in the middle, and then eventually the price went up to $2.75. And but the one you're always looking for is this one here. These tend to run quite a bit. I picked these up on the cheap, and I actually always keep my first printing. These are mint copies. Whoop, I got a World's Finest fell in behind there. I got 3 beautiful mint copies of it up on the wall. So needless to say, I'm a fan of the humor and the art and everything to do with Milk and Cheese. So I bought myself this shirt, and you'll know that Silver Age Dave, I am a gin drinker. So I got this shirt here, which is brand new. It's not a vintage shirt, which made it affordable for me, but it fits and it's beautiful. Gin makes a man mean, and Cheese over there is saying, everyone booze up and riot. And I thought that's great. And he's drinking gin. He's got an olive in there, and that's how I drink my gin. I got a blue cheese olive. And so I found that shirt and I thought, this is really cool. I must own that shirt for the next Comic-Con I attend. I'm going to be wearing that shirt to it, and I'll feel great wearing it. Let's see. Oh, we've got Bad Avenger. Everyone, please stand up with me. Let's give Bad Avenger a little applause. Nice to see you, Bad Avenger. And we've got Mastodon in here. Mastodon gets some applause. Nice to see you, my friend. But the fun doesn't end there. Okay, so I found another thing recently, which I'd never seen before, and I had to buy them, and they were super cheap to buy, but it's these drink coasters. So they got Milk and Cheese on the back, and this one here, it says beer, poor man's rocket fuel, and he's got 2 overflowing beer mugs right there. And then we've got the second one, which is my favorite, which again goes with the tagline, gin makes a man mean. And doesn't make Silver Age Dave mean. I generally just feel happy when I have a little glass of gin. But it doesn't end there. I've got more for you guys. So we got Heroes Daikons in here. Good evening, my friend. Nice to see you. I got to check the time. Yep, I got plenty of time. So hopefully you guys got plenty of time. And I'm going to show you something I bought 2 things from now that is just awesome, and I've got a hunting story to go with it. And applause there, comic fan. I love it. So, and we got Gray Man in here. Nice to see you, Gray Man. Gray Man does these cool walk around. Brandy makes you Randy, says Gray Man. He does these walk around videos where he goes out into nature and walks around, and they're really cool, and I like those, Gray Man. So keep up the great work. Sometimes I go running. Like I went in the woods running today, and there's a lot of snow, so it was tough. But I'll throw on, whoever's on YouTube at the time, and I'll listen in. I don't comment a lot, but sometimes I do. But mostly I just run and listen, and I do enjoy those daytime things. Oh, we got Movie World Comics. Thank you so much. Oh, Graystream was live. Sorry about that. Or Gray Man was live. Graystream was live. Sorry if I jumped on your live stream, man. So these cards are kind of like a big deal right now. And it's unbelievable to me what's happened with them. I have, as you can imagine, I've got a lot of X Factor polybag books, and I've got a couple of those Deadpools, rookie cards that are mint. Who knows if that means they'd be a 10-0 or an 8-5 on, how they grade cards. So I'm not sending them in. I'm just keeping them bagged. But I thought these milk and cheese cards are cool, and because these are all different, I am not going to go through them all with you. They are just really cool. Each one you get a picture and you get a story, which is beautiful. But Evan Dorkin, he is a guy that just gives and gives and gives. He's so funny and so witty. So for a couple bucks, you too can have milk and cheese cards with custom art and funny stories. Onward to Mayhem says cheese, and Onward to Insanity says milk, and it's beautiful. And then that gives you the story. So those are beautiful. Yeah, I had to choose between 100-mile runs or 20-minute walks. I thought the 100-mile runs were your thing. Thanks, Gray Man. Don't tread on my toes, man. I don't want to have to come over there. No, I do want to come over there someday when I don't have as many kids. I will travel a little bit. I know a bunch of people I'll be reaching out to. You, Gray Man, will certainly be on that list. I would look forward to having a beer in a pub with you and listening to some great music and just enjoying life over there. Steven Spock, we'd have to hook up with Daz though too. Steven Spock, nice to see you. We got the thing here and the thing there. Beautiful. So this next book that I'm going to show, this is, I'll show you the back. This is a 9.8 gold label. I missed out on this artist sketch cover. Not sketch cover, some sketches. A while ago, a guy wanted like $500 each. He had two sketches that were beautiful. And I played with that dude for, I'll bet 2 years. They were on eBay, and finally they disappeared. So I think finally he came down and someone else bought them. And I was really forlorn about it. And, I don't want to say upset, but every now and then I find things and I'm like, man, I love it. I want to own it. And, I run the traps. I stay in contact with people like the Foom kits and posters. It's just the mini comics. You just stay in touch. You stay on it. Stay on the job. And sometimes it takes years. This book I've told the story on a lot of times. Let me see which one. This one here, which I bought from a guy. He had this on eBay forever. He's an accountant in California, and that's the Silver Acre Comics original label. This just sat in a file cabinet for years, and it takes me years sometimes to buy a book, right? But that's what happened, and I came out on the losing end of it. So this particular book showed up on eBay. And I thought, I don't have a lot of time to waste, but probably have a little time to waste. So I wasted a little bit of time, but I bought it, and I'm so overjoyed. This is Secret Invasion #1 from June of '08, signed, sketch, and Earth You Are So Dead by Evan Dorkin on 6/22/08, white pages, 9.8. Look at that bad boy right there. Possibly the greatest sketch cover I could ever imagine for Secret Invasion, and you're getting invaded by milk and cheese saying, Earth, you are so dead. Evan Dorkin '08, and this I love the most, Make Mine Mayhem, right there, funny to the end. I just love Evan Dorkin. I am overjoyed at this book. And I'll tell you what, this little trick. So this seller, and you guys can find this on eBay. I don't know if you'll know what I paid for it or not, but here's the trick I did here is I put in a low offer on it, and it said declined. So then, you get like 5 tries. So I came up a little bit and declined, and then I came up one little step more, and it was the very bottom of what the seller would accept. So right now I know that, hey, they put it in there for that amount they probably don't want to sell it for that amount. So what I ended up doing is I put that low offer in, and a while later, I don't know if it was a day or how long, but a while later, they sent me back a counter offer for a lot more than what I had offered. And I answered back to them in an offer. I went back to my original offer, which was the minimum. And what I said was, and I could probably give you the exact, but what I said in my little writing was, hey, I've got $200 to spend. That's, I think, what I paid for this. I got $200 to spend. And if you can accept that, that's great for me. But I am tapped out at 200. If you can't accept that offer, then I'm going to go buy $200 worth of gin. So either way, it's a win for me. And I was kind of laughing. I was having a glass of gin when I did that. And I sent it. And sure enough, the next morning, accepted offer. I couldn't believe it. But I drew the line in the sand, and I wasn't going to come up over 200. But for me, that is so worth it to have a 9.8 with one of my favorite teams, my favorite duos, and I just love it. So thank you for those of you who are sitting in here and enjoying with me. I kind of showed you my big stuff that I've bought, and that was my hunting story. I think I'm touching on all the thing. Happiness in comics, that's it right there. Something unique. I don't think he did two of these, and it's an old sketch. I don't know when sketch covers came out, but that one's from '08, so I'm guessing it's on the older end of sketch covers. Very, very pleased. Thank you. Oh, here's the other thing. Get a load of this. This comic book came from Ohio. So let me show you why United States Postal Service will probably go out of business someday. I'm going to go to my purchased items. All right, let me find this. All right, I'm going to go into it. And for those of you not familiar with Ohio, Ohio's a really, really big state. And just picture it like a rectangle. Well, I'm in the top left corner of that rectangle if we're looking down at it from outer space. This comic book was 1 hour south of me. I didn't want to do local pickup. The shipping was very fair on it. It was like $10 or something, and it was sent in a priority mail, medium flat rate box. But it started its life 1 hour south of me. So here's what USPS did is they picked it up, then they shipped it 2.5 hours south of me to Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay. Then they shipped it from 2.5 hours south of me in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Toledo's a big city. We're pretty big. They shipped it from Cincinnati, Ohio, 2.5 hours, 3 hours south of me. They shipped it all the way up to Allen Park, Michigan, which is, I think, a couple hours north of me, right? So 5 hours from being way south of me to being way north of me. Then they shipped it from Allen Park, Michigan to Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan shipped it. Detroit's an hour north of me. Detroit shipped it to Toledo, Ohio, which I'm, 10 minutes from. And then Toledo, Ohio shipped it to Rossford, Ohio, and where it was left with me. Just crazy. So I'm missing the chat right now because I was in that, but the packaging was beautiful. I just couldn't believe the worldwide travels of this book to get to me compared to when I bought, let me grab it off the shelf. Hold on, guys. This book, hang on. This particular book here, I'm pretty certain this is the one. This is Edge of Spider-Verse. It's the blacked-out version, which in my experience, most of these came from overseas. We got Comic Van is cutting out. Works for USPS. Oh, no. Sorry about that. I just can't believe when books ship all over, I would think it's an hour away. Just bring it to Toledo. Okay, so It's crazy. But you know what? In the United States, my experience is anything that's run by the government, there's something a little quirky that happens, and I just can't see for the $13 for that flat rate box to send it all the way down to Cincinnati, then send it all the way up to Allen Park, then send it to Detroit, then send it to Toledo, and you're giving the people the free box. Okay, so these boxes that other thing came in, they're free boxes. So you give them the free box and then you ship it all over. I don't know. Well, anyway, this comic came, I think this came from Ireland, and it was on DHL. I bought it hypothetically on a Tuesday morning. Wednesday night, this was delivered to me by DHL. Now, I didn't track that one where it went, but I couldn't even believe it. It was like next day. And I've never been more impressed. But that's a 9/8 dark variant, and I have a daughter, Gwen, so I've been buying these a long time. But amazing journey for this comic. It got to me safe and sound, so I'm super ultra happy with it, and appreciate you guys, having another story from Silver, right? Who would imagine? If I mail something to someone in my town, it goes all the way to Ontario and then comes back here 7 days later. Yeah, it's crazy. I know you got to have a system. I'm not that logistics guy that's going to solve the world's problems. But I think you guys are probably like me that when I have a treasure in the mail, like I want it back in my hands. I want it in the comic room where it's safe and sound. The more time it's out there, the worse it is. More chances of getting destroyed. So anyway, there we go. And very happy with that. Let me put this over here. And I've got a few more minutes that I can stay on here. What time is it? 6:23. So I got about 10 more minutes. I'm going to have a little sip of orange juice. And I've got a comic book that I'm specking on. And I am spending, now it's nothing that's ever going to make me money, but I'm spending $1,000 on not one comic, on a lot of copies of one comic. And I can't say what it is yet because I want to just have this one to myself, but we'll see what happens later. That's been exciting this week. Kind of trials and tribulations going back and forth. Do I want to do something like that? But that's been, like I say, a little bit of the excitement in Silver Age Dave world. I'm trying to remember where I bought things from. I'll go to this one. So I got my 4 buddies I hang out with, and I talk about Flotsam Brad and my friend Jason. Hello, College Jason. Sometimes is here in live chats, and so let me see here. So I got a call from Jason. He and my other buddy were out at a record store and they found some comics. So we decided we're all going to get together and jump in the big green van and go hunting for comics. And so I went through the bins. I met this guy, super, super nice. I got his card here. His name is Dan. These are his original comics, and he just sells them through the it's not a record store, it's a guitar store. Heights Guitars, it's called, here in Toledo. So they have comic bins, and I ended up going through the bins, and I bought all these comics, and he cut me a nice deal. So he did me $12 for this whole stack of books, and I'll show you. This was one of the more exciting ones in there. This is Black Hammer #1, which is a kind of a spec right now. We got James Higgins in here. Nice to see you, James. And we've got Hello College Jason. I summoned him. Sometimes I'm able to do that with Luther Manning, with Patrick, where I just summon him out of the ether. But I did that just now with Hello College Jason. Nice to see you, buddy. So we're at Heights Guitars hunting these boxes. So I got this Black Hammer #1, which I picked up in there. And I got some of these things are mixed. This was from somewhere else. These are actually from Indianapolis. I'll show those too. And then we'll call it quits at some point. High Life tonight too. There you go. So he had this book, which I hadn't seen before. It was Stan Lee Meets Doctor Strange. Again, this is 12 bucks I paid for this whole stack here. Stan Lee Meets Doctor Strange #1 I thought was really neat. I didn't have a copy, so I added it. He had this Mystic Hands of Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is one of those guys that's real hot right now. Everyone's expecting great things from the MCU. And so we've got that to #1. Okay, super issue, more thrills. So we got that. I always take these. We were talking earlier about polybags. I always take these. I might have 10 of them. I don't know how many I have. But Rise of the Midnight Sun Ghost Rider #28. Beautiful. And this came with a Ghost Rider 28, Spirit of Vengeance #1, Morbius #1, Darkhold #1, Night Stalkers #1, and Ghost Riders #31. Those were the books, and you got a bonus poster in each issue, right? So maybe a little bit like the DC comics at Walmart, where you get the little pinup in there. So he had this Galactus the Devourer first issue. Nothing great here, nothing to see here, but perfect condition, no spine ticks on it. And I thought, oh, I'll add that. And then he had a bunch of free comic book day books, and these he threw me probably for free, but 12 bucks again for the whole stack. And I love hunting boxes that, stuff that maybe no one else is looking after. So this is a free comic book day Spider-Man right there. Beautiful. Okay. June 2012. And I've got a whole box of these free comic book day books. When I get these, I don't put them in alphabet order. I just put them in free comic book day, all in a bundle. It's too hard to go through all these, but we've got Batman Adventures #1. Okay, and there's Scooby-Doo Where Are You #1. And this one I actually have a signed comic by the artist who did this. But we have that. Not the free comic book, the actual issue. We have Batman Little Gotham, free, special edition. We've got DC Superhero Girls. My daughters love DC Superhero Girls, so I thought, oh, I'll have the free comic book day version of that. That's really exciting. And then they had this one also, the free DC Superhero Girls. That was in there. So we got that. And then there is a Amazing Spider-Man. I forget what year this one was from, but that one's in there. Whoops, as I drop it. Fortunately, that one's boarded and bagged and probably worthless anyway. And then the last one from that bin was this Angry Birds comics. Darn it. The, what do you call these little mini guys? I've got them for Dead Rabbit and a bunch of other series. Darn it, someone will help me out with what these little guys are called. But anyway, it's a free comic day, Halloween Comic Fest, small version of Angry Birds. And I thought that was pretty cool too. Ashcan, there you go. Thank you so much. Steven Spock and Comic Mag Musings, thank you so much. All right, and then the last ones I'll probably show for today. This is what I picked up out of Indianapolis, out of Comic Circus, I think the store was called. I was really excited. And, I'll show this too. I have a set of Batman Adventure cards. Again, cards are trendy right now. And I went through those, and I happened to see this Harley Quinn, which I don't ever expect to send cards in to get graded. But that's a pretty nice one. Corners are beautiful. And I think that's a rare card. I don't know what their print run on it was. But pretty cool to, find stuff in there. And one of my daughters will have that someday. Just had that on the wall and noticed it. So I picked up this Flaming Carrot Comics. And this is number 25. It had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. And I have a son who's a TNMT fan. And so anytime I see a affordable turtle book, I want to buy that for him. And I thought that was cool. And I'm a Flaming Carrot fan, so that was a double, a twofer for me. They also had this, which was the other crossover. It was issue 25, and this is 26. And that's beautiful. So another TNMT crossover, or TMNT. Might have said that wrong. So they had those, very affordably, great shape. Those look mint. They had this Ghost Spider number 9, which I don't think I had, but I liked the cover. So I added that one for my little Spider Gwen. And then the last one in there, I think is a spec right now. I think I saw it on a video and I can't really remember anything about it, but they had this DC Comics Presents number 46. I wish they had 47. That would have been nice, but they didn't have that one. That one's always missing. But they had 46, so I bought number 46. It's in beautiful shape, and I don't know if I had it or not, but I thought, I'll just add that one to the collection. And they have, this is cool, the old Lone Ranger town on the back of there, and can't get enough of that. So, guys, that's it. I think I've showed you lots of stuff. I really appreciate. I think at one point we had 25 or 30 people in here. I'm going to have to get going and pick up my loved ones. Oh, last thing, check this out. I might have shown this already, but this is a Tales from the Crypt number 1 treasury size. And maybe on another video, I can open that up. It's a reprinting. I think they have 3 stories or 4 stories in there. But I thought it was real cool. I hadn't seen one before, and I love buying the treasuries. So I've got a couple of those. And anyway, that's it, guys. Whatever you do, do the best job you can at it and smile a lot. Get outside. I went running today wearing regular clothes, not wearing an Arctic Circle Explorer outfit. So it felt great to get out there. Sunlight was on me, and you had a nice little breeze and just warmer air than what we've been having. So get out, be part of nature, be part of the world, and put a smile on. That changes everybody's day. That's my experience. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me on a Wednesday afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are. Be awesome. Silver Edge Dave is out.